Well, hello, friends, and thank you for joining us for another episode of What's Going On here at SwagHer Magazine, where we check in and find out what's going on. I am your host, Jennifer Harris, and today we welcome Tammy Reese, an award winning actress and writer, as well as a creative director and freelance publicist. She is the owner of Visionary Minds Public Relations and Media. She empowers creators, thought leaders, and small business owners to amplify their brands through digital media. So, friends, be sure to share because we're about to get into a good conversation with Miss Tammy Reese.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I was so excited for today.
Yes, I thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited to hear about your story and you in the media world. It's funny as I was like reading up a little bit on you, I was like, oh, I got some good questions. So we're going to get on into it. You ready?
I'm here for it.
Cool. So, who is Tammy Reese? How will you describe yourself?
Wow. Well, I am a wife. I am a mother. I'm a Scorpio. I love the horror industry, horror genre. I'm like totally obsessed with the Walking Dead franchise. I love me some Michael Jackson. I'm an empath. I'm a journalist. I'm a publicist. Background is in acting, writing, creative directing. I just love all things entertainment and media, as well as mental health advocacy.
I love it. Those are a lot of hats. Let's talk about some of them, okay? First you said, wife. So congratulations on your recent
Thank
nuptials.
you.
Um, so one, that's amazing, to get married. How was that experience for you, like going through that process?
Wow, I'm just constantly saying my husband, my husband, my husband. Okay, in the most humble, feeling so blessed, giving it to God manner. We got married in September,
Okay.
and we've already lived the principles, sickness and health, and rich or poor, all those things that solidifies a relationship, the foundation. So just
Mhm.
getting married was like the icing on the cake, the blessing. It happened in divine timing, and
Mhm.
I'm just so thankful to have a life partner and my husband. I just love him so much, and thank you for the congrats.
Yes. So this is a bonus question because we are coming up on Valentine's Day, right? So people are going to be anticipating things. And you said a word foundation. Can you just share a little bit about what foundation is and why it's important for us listeners as we are preparing for this big holiday that should happen every day, but nevertheless, the holidays so much
Absolutely.
I want to talk about.
I
Can you share about?
appreciate the question. And I never try to peg myself as a relationship expert. Everyone's relationship is different.
Mhm.
Everyone's situation is different, and experience is different. Regarding foundation, I would definitely say two people have to compromise, communicate, have
Mhm.
understanding. It's not going to always be perfect, especially us two. We're in two different industries.
Mhm.
Not in media, he's not in entertainment. We're both Scorpios. He's 11
Mhm.
7. I'm 11 11. Was like numerically divine alignment. We respect each other's differences as well as
Mhm.
embrace our similarities. But that foundation is knowing that, it's okay that you don't agree with the same things. You don't may not like the same things, may not be
Mhm.
interested in the same things, but the things that you are, you embrace it and you respect the things that you aren't in
Mhm.
alignment with. But the foundation just respect, trust, communication, and knowing that it takes work every single
Mhm.
day.
I
That's
like it. I
it.
like it. Thank you for sharing that. And with that, so you just now added, being married into the juggle of life. You're a mom, and you're in this thriving media career. How has it been navigating? And again, that's just like three things. You gave us a list of some things that you do. How is it juggling all those things to still be Tammy Reese?
Oh my gosh, it definitely takes a village, and it may sound cliche, but it's so true. Having my husband holding it down if I'm traveling, covering events, having my tribe help me out. I'm constantly shouting out my sister Lakeisha Renee. She is like the one of the goats in my life, a
Mhm.
friend that truly became my sister. Just having that tribe, a sisterhood, family, your
Mhm.
spouse, people who holding it down because you are one person, and sometimes you need help. If it's confiding, if it's just, I need help with this, just saying I need help with something from someone that you can trust helps you navigate everything you have to do. I always put God and family first.
Mhm.
I've accomplished a lot in my industry, but I say the biggest accomplishment is being a mom, and my son is my everything. So just having a support system truly, I can say hands down, helps me navigate the industry, being a wife and mother to the best of my ability, and
Mm-hmm.
balancing. Sometimes I have to travel a lot and cover events and interview people constantly. And like right now, the top of the year is slower for me. I'm just diving into family and just enjoying this moment because time just goes by so fast. My son will be
Yeah.
16 this summer, and
Oh,
I don't
wow.
want to be that mom to say I missed so much out of my child's life. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's important and vital to balance it all.
I like it. I like it. Thank you for sharing that as well, because we have some that are listening that are trying to balance as well. Maybe a breakup, maybe a new relationship, maybe motherhood, maybe this job, and all of that thing, making sure that you're finding that balance. And balance is different for everyone. But I like how you said I get slow in the beginning of the year, so you really make sure you hone in on that family time. Also, knowing when you need help or knowing when you need to talk to somebody is really important because we don't have to face this thing called life alone.
Seriously, in a social media world, life is so on perception. And
Mm-hmm.
people may see me with interviewing these celebrities and all this type of stuff. Like, no, I'm human. I'm living a human experience.
Mm-hmm.
Life isn't perfect. I go through things, and just having people that really love me for me outside of what I do in my industry is just
Mm-hmm.
so important and really been beneficial to me navigating the media industry and motherhood and being a wife.
Very nice. So let me skip to that question because you have for sure interviewed some greats. David Allen Greer, Jasmine Guy, I Love a Different World, Angela Bassett, Morris Chestnut, Ryan Coogler, and so many more. What would you say has been your most favorite interview of them?
Oh, wow. That's such a hard question to answer because everyone is so
Mm-hmm.
profound in their own way. If they're, doing something current, or if they're a legend who really made their mark in the industry,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I even interview everyday regular people who deserve to be celebrated. That's how I look at everyone as a celebrity. People deserve to be celebrated. As
Mm-hmm.
for my renowned name people, Angela Bassett, hands down, would have been my favorite interview. Just growing up, watching her career over the years,
Mm-hmm.
and just having her. It was a phone interview. I would have did it in person. I would have did a Zoom. I would have did an email reply interview, but I got her on the phone, so God is good. I'm just in mid sentence, I'd be like, "Oh my God, she's on the phone." I'm thinking in my head like, "Oh my God,
Yes,
she's on the phone. Oh my
yes,
God, I can't believe it." But Angela is a huge icon in our culture, for Black
yeah.
women, for cinema, period, television
Mm-hmm.
as well. She's just one of the goats, period. And just to say that, it's just an honor and
Mm-hmm.
something I'll remember for the rest of my life. I interviewed her a couple years ago when Tribeca Film Festival was honoring the 25th anniversary of Stella Got Her Groove Back. So we were
Yeah,
chatting about that. And it was for New York Women in Film and Television's podcast. So it was an honor to be able to book that interview with the one and only Angela Bassett. Hands
I
down
love it.
favorite.
I love it. I love it. And that's the dopeness too of like, not so much a short question, but the question of like us to honor every experience because from each interview you've had, I'm sure you've learned so many great things. Got to be able to connect with the community and share the amazing things that they are doing, and to meet somebody, on the big screen. But I also like too our everyday people because they're just as important. Sometimes we
Exactly.
lowball ourselves, but we're doing stuff in the community. There's some people on a big screen, but there's some people on our local street screen that's making a
Period.
difference. So that's pretty
You're
cool.
making an impact,
Yes.
triumphing over huge setbacks and persevering through hardships and all type of things. People who really need their voices heard, who are overlooked, not taken seriously. I want them
Yeah.
to feel validated. I want them to be able to promote their talents and businesses and services and products and
Yeah.
events. And that's why I created my company, Visionary Minds Public Relations and Media, is
Mhm.
solely purpose to help up and coming talents, new business owners, small business owners, get featured in the press, because
Mhm.
it's so hard, especially in today's world where DEI is such a conversation that, don't get me started. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, yes,
seriously, it's so important to, in these streets, people to be
yes,
featured and seen as well.
yes, yes. So speaking of visionary minds, public relations, and media, how did you come up with the name? What inspired you?
Oh, wow. Thank you. I love talking about my baby, Visionary Minds. Yes. Wow. So it started off as just a Facebook blog featuring people who are doing amazing things in their communities. And then I'm like, um, we should do this in a TV format. So it was a public access station called Spectrum Cable here in
Mhm.
Syracuse. And then I started featuring on our local networks. And then a publicist friend of mine was like, "You're so good in journalism. You love talking to people. You love featuring people. Won't you tap into the public relations field?" Like, I have no experience. Like, you have all the media experience. It'll be
Mhm.
like, you know what? Ding a bell ringed off, then I dived into it, started doing freelance public relations, and the rest is history. I wanted people to know that they are seen, they are heard, they are appreciated, they are valued, and it doesn't have to take a million emails or phone calls to get featured in the press. I worked with some great media outlets like SwagHer, and who know I'm not sending them over a serial killer. I'm sending them people who are positive, with
Okay.
influence, who are innovators, who are visionaries, who are making an impact. So I'm so thankful for my media collaborators that help my clients be seen in great ways, because they truly deserve it.
I love it. I love it. She's nice to know no serial killers. We thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't, you never know who's saving your life. I want to say thank you. I love it.
I'm so
Um,
silly. I get so silly out sometimes. You'll get it.
I love it. I love it. But I also like the part of how you started it as a blog. And a lot of times, some people have ideas that are tuned in, and you have an idea. You're like, well, where do I go? Where do I start? Simple as a blog sharing the resources and the dopeness of your community, seeing what it is that you're doing to then encourage you to go a little further with it. Something you didn't really think of, but it's like, wait, I can do this. And now to see where you are from then, it's like this was a good move.
Yeah, and just seeing from the journalist side and the publicist side makes me be more mindful of the industry. And I tell my clients, every media outlet is different, every public relations professional is different. You know, Sometimes some publicists, they have to be on the phone all day long, emailing all day, pitching, and get no
Mm-hmm.
hits. It's like I explain it like a lawyer. A lawyer has a case. If they win or lose, you still have to pay that lawyer for the work that
Yeah.
they did. If you
Yeah.
pay in a publicist, on a flat scale fee, they can work their butt off, but it's up to the media outlet to feature that client.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm great that I can work in an unconventional way where I
Mm-hmm.
have strategic relationships. Like I said, I'm not sending no one bad. I'm sending these positive people who are
Yeah.
doing influential things.
Yeah.
Um, and they may not be a household name, but that doesn't matter because these are real people. And sometimes, like, I love what I do in a high scale industry, interviewing celebrities, but more so everyday people, they're going to be real with you. Sometimes
Yeah.
celebrities, they have a brand to protect, and they're not going to pour their soul out to you. They may
Mm-hmm.
just talk about the project they're working on,
Mm-hmm.
previous projects they've been working on, and say what they want without ruining their reputation and not spilling all the tea. I want to pull things out of everyday people of what story can you share with the readers or person who's watching that's going to relate to them, that they may cry, shed a tear, like, oh my gosh, I've been through that too, or I know I can get through that too. It's important to tell stories that matter,
Yeah.
that are of importance. So I just love everything I do in media and public relations. And I know we'll talk about mental health advocacy as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's very dear to me.
Yes. So we're going to segue into that because you shared about how sometimes in doing interviews, like people are hesitant to share some things because once it's out there, it's out there. They will find it, they will snip it, they will clip it, they will share it, out of context, in context. And we have to be careful because like you think that you're doing a good thing, your intentions are good, hopefully, and what it is that you're doing, and the world, it's not always as nice, and it can affect your, mental health. And, you're posting something and then in the comments it's like, that's not, what the intent was. So let's talk about that a little bit about the mental health in the media world, and how to survive that.
Oh my gosh, this is so deep. And I pour my heart out to our skin folks, especially Black women in media, to
Mm-hmm.
know that sometimes you need to take a break. um Us journalists, we consume so much news more than the average person. And you may not be a political journalist, you may not be a world news correspondent, but
Mm-hmm.
still we just take in too much information more than the everyday person.
Yeah.
And it can take a toll. Even just
Mhm.
being on social media, having to keep up with the trends or the latest news, and be
Yeah.
informed as a journalist in the journalist world. Your job is to be informed while you're
Yeah.
reporting stories.
Mhm.
So we have to really protect our mental health, because it's a hard world right now, and it doesn't matter what background you come from, political views you have, even your sexual orientation. Just too many opinions, too many
Yeah.
topics, too much news. Fact checking is not really a thing anymore. um,
Yeah.
and you have to research on your own, but also it's okay to take a step back. And I know the social media world, people be feeling like, oh, they didn't like my post, they didn't shit. Sometimes maybe we need a break from social media. That's why your media friend didn't like your post, or
Mhm.
what I mean? We're
Yeah.
really have to protect our mental health. We cannot consume it. So what I do, especially this year alone, I've been really limited my social media intake. I'll do some
Yeah.
posts and then I'll log off and maybe
Yeah.
circle back the next day or later on in the day. Because I'm guilty. I should be scrolling,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
screenshotting, sitting in the
Yeah.
group chat, like then you got
Yeah.
your friends, your circle, like who is
Yes.
this? But like for my mental health, I have to limit it. I have to. It's too much going on. Stay informed, but protect your mental health at all costs. Period.
I love this. I've been on this kick of talking about capacity recently, because to take some of it in is okay, but sometimes it's an overload, and then you're wondering why you're feeling down because that seeps in. Like you're thinking about it, you're trying to process it. Once you get through one situation, something else has happened. Last week with everything that was going on, it was overwhelming, and we have to really be careful of how much we let go into our eye gate, our ear gate, and even what we say, because in a quick second things could go left. And like you said, they're scrolling like before you know it, 5 hours in, you're like, oh my gosh, why am I still on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook?
I got
So
stuff to do.
I got stuff to do. I need to go to sleep. I got work in the morning, right? But I've also set up some time limits of like, no more than this amount of time on Instagram, this amount of time on Facebook, this amount of time on Instagram, where I'm trying to make sure that I am protecting myself because like you said, that mental health is real. You'll see something, then it's not even trigger warnings on some of these posts that come out. They're
Exactly.
like, oh, that hurt.
In addition to the information overload, it's also perception of social media. A lot of
Mhm.
people, they look at someone in this lavish place or this lavish materialistic item, and it's so easy to be like, oh my gosh, do I need to reassess my life? Am I not doing enough because this person is there and this person has that and I don't have this and I'm not there? And
Come on.
no,
Yes.
me and my tribe is a huge believer in God gonna put you where you supposed to be, period. And comparison is a thief of joy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
we gotta really check ourselves too. And I talk about this often to people who scroll on social media and feel like they're not enough or they're
Mhm.
not
Mhm.
where they
Mhm.
should be just because someone else looks like this or have this or is at this place. You don't know what those people took to get there. You don't know what they went through before or after they made that post. We just got to stop assuming what people's lives are or that is perfect just because it's posted on social media. These are snippets, highlight reels of people's life that we don't
Mhm.
know nothing about.
Mhm.
So,
So
yeah.
true. So true. You don't know how many edits it took. Sometimes you started doing a video, you had to do it 10 times because it wasn't come out right. And by the 10th time you irritated, agitated about it, it took you 20 times to get your picture right. It took them 25 times to get their picture right. The similar things that we're going through are the similar things they're going through. So as you said, just looking at your life and not worrying about or getting yourself caught up in keeping up with the Joneses and things because
Yes.
they have you going down a dead end street and you're like, well, wait, what? Huh? What's going on? And then that mental health piece comes in. So
Even
there's
like,
that.
with relationships and stuff, like, um so everyone doesn't want to live a lavish lifestyle in their relationship. Some people just like to be private and
Mm-hmm.
simple. And I'm speaking for
Mm-hmm.
myself because that's me.
Yeah.
And and out of the limelight, everyone doesn't want to put everything or every place they
Mm-hmm.
go or all their
Mm-hmm.
business about their relationship on social media. So if you're in a relationship or thinking about getting, don't look like, oh, I want a relationship like this, I want to
Yeah.
be like them. Like, no, you don't know what them people going through or what it took for them to get to the place in the relationship that there are now. So yeah, we just gotta live our own lives and just be ourselves. It's okay to be yourself. That's
It's
it.
okay to be yourself. I love this. I saw the post the other day where a couple they got married at Chuck E. Cheese and had the party and everything there. I was like, this is so cool. I would
Ooh.
totally do this, right? And I texted to my brother. He was like, oh my gosh. That's what I want to do. Either you come or you don't come. Because at first I said I would elope if ever I was getting married, right? But I said this would be pretty cool. I said either you come or don't come. But what works for you? Find what works for you. You don't have to do the lavish where you spend all this money on different things. Sometimes it's cheaper. That gets you because it's really the commitment of keeping you together. That
That's
has
it.
go
That's
longer.
it.
You want the
That's
wedding or the marriage? You got to know the pros and cons. You want the friendship or you want the glitz and glam of the friendship. Knowing what it is that we want of each situation we're in and what works for you.
I couldn't have said it better. That was on point.
So good. I'm repeating that to you. This is what I'm getting from you because you're probably.
Yes, yes. I
Ah,
feel
so I love
seen.
you.
I feel seen.
Yes, yes, you are heard. You are appreciated. I got valued. And that's the important thing that those that are tuning in and listening, that we're really taking in the words. And sometimes we've heard the things over and over again before from other people, but it's sometimes where it's like, today it sparked something different. I too want to be seen, heard, and valued for what it is that I like for me. You do the things that work for you. I got to do the things that work for me. I can't
Exactly.
walk in your shoes. I don't know how
Exactly.
to.
Exactly. It's just like people be like, "Oh my gosh, you're in the room with Robert De Niro. You covering these red carpets. You living your
Yes.
best life." I bet. Listen, my best life is at home with
Ah,
my son, my husband. I be
yes.
Netflixes and chilling. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Like, listen, it's the perception. Yes, I love
Mhm,
what I do, but
mhm.
I know people mean well what they say that, but it's like honestly, my best life be with my family. Like
Yeah.
literally, literally.
I like that. Thank you for sharing that because that's the part that really helps to keep us grounded. Your family, your tribe, your village are the ones that help you to continue to go out in front of other people because they'll see you out there smiling. And then when you're home, you're crying because, like, oh, my feet was hurting, or this didn't go well, or I blumbered up with a
Oh, I got
word.
stories for days for feet hurting. Yes, listen.
I love it. I love it. So, friends, mental health is really important. So if you do need to talk to somebody, please, please do reach out to somebody. As Tammy shared, she is a mental health advocate, all about sharing the importance of media, addressing our mental health in media and everyday life to be able to survive this thing. Because life is going life for sure.
Yes, yes. One day at a time.
So, what advice would you give people about evolving their personal brand? Right, we're talking about the media and what's being put out there, or what we are putting out there, what version of us they're seeing. Hopefully, again, it is the authentic version because if they see you on the street, they're gonna hope that you really are who you were on a not the actor, the real you. What
Yeah.
what kind of support or how would that work? How does it work?
For me, is not feeling guilty about that. I have a brand too. I help, a lot of people. I help business owners, like I said, I help creators, thought leaders, things of that nature. But I too am a brand. So even though I get a lot of people featured in the press, I too have to advocate for myself and share the things that I'm working on. I'm doing an interview right now, So you have to understand that, especially if you're a publicist and a journalist or just a publicist and maybe you have a book out, or other things of that nature you're working on. Don't feel guilty that outside of your clients that you too have a personal brand. So my advice is don't feel guilty because you deserve to be seen as well.
Don't feel guilty because you deserve to be seen as well.
Absolutely. I have other interviews coming up as well, but in the midst in between, I'm pitching my clients, I'm writing their articles and
Mhm.
getting their press kits figured out and things of that nature. But yeah, because I used to feel guilty, like, oh my gosh, how would my clients think if I'm, getting featured too? And I don't want them to think it's just all about me. No, it's we all can win. We all
Yes.
have a voice to be shared and things that we're working on. So that's a balance as well.
I like it. Thank you for sharing it. We all, and because like we'll go to the back burner, I feel like we got to be in the back, but what you're doing is just as important. Friends will be like, well, why didn't you tell me about it? I was like, well, I mean, I put it out there. If you support, if you support, but being knowing that I have value to what I'm giving, just like I'm pushing everybody else. I like that. Thank you. I needed that.
Well,
Welcome to my couch conversations with Tammy Reese. She's helping me today, friends.
I'm loving this conversation. I can talk to you all day. I
I
just
love me so. See, I love these kind of things. So I got another question for you. You have a new podcast, Tales from the Media. Now, when I first read Tales from the Media, I did think of Tales from the Crypt, right? And Tales from the Crypt was like mystery and like there's like creepy stuff and things of that sort. And I was like, well, what kind of tales is it from the media? So I said, let me find out from Tammy Reese what her tales from the media is. Because in my head, I'm like, it's a good, bad, and ugly what's going on. What is it?
Listen, Tales from the Media is my baby with my longtime media collaborator, Lakisa Renee. Shout out to her. She's currently at New York Fashion Week. Got to shout out my sister.
Yes.
This is our baby. We're in pre-production of the podcast. Tales from the Crypt, voice of the Crypt Keeper, John Kassir. He recorded our intro to our podcast. So
Nice.
we're huge horror fans. Everyone in the horror community loves us. We done
Mhm.
interviewed, covered, met some of everybody from the Freddy Kruegers and Michael Myers, your Jasons, your Leatherfaces. The list goes
Okay.
on. I'm telling you, if
Yes.
you think about it, we met them, interviewed them, covered them. But John Kassir is one of our beloved people in the horror community, and everyone's familiar with HBO Tales from the Crypt series.
Mhm.
And we didn't know if it was possible, just copyright things of that nature. But no, he was so here for it. He was just on it immediately. I can't wait for everyone to hear just him introducing our podcast in that Crypt Keeper voice. But Tales from the Crypt podcast is to be announced soon. We'll release the launch date soon. So we're just trying to cook up things behind the scenes for now. But we're going to be talking about things of entertainment, fashion, and media, world news, pop culture, things coming from Black women perspectives. Our
Mhm.
voices are constantly being overlooked and silenced, and our history is trying to be erased. We just want to uplift, educate, inspire, and just have another safe place, because it can't be enough coming from Black women
Mhm.
for sure. So I'm just excited for our podcast. And again, the launch date is to be announced. Stay
Yes.
tuned.
I love it. I love it.
And you can follow us on Instagram, Tales from the Media. We're on TikTok. We're on X, formerly known as Twitter. We're on
Mhm. Mhm.
Facebook as well. And you can follow us on YouTube. And our email is talesfromthemedia@gmail.com.
I love it, friends. Y'all be sure to go check out Tales from the Media. I feel like it's going to be good. Some good inspiration stories, some truthful stories. Um, yeah, that's pretty dope. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. And to have the Tales from the Crypt voice, that's pretty
Iconic.
amazing.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's very nice. And the dopeness of like the relationships that you've made from your journey in media has continued to pay off. I love it.
Thank
Very
you.
nice. Congratulations on that as well. So, what are some other projects that you're working on that we should know about?
Yes, I am one of the co-hosts and co-executive producers of the Night With podcast presented by New York Women in Film and Television. We just released our third episode of this season yesterday, working on
Mhm.
episode 4. Going to be a Black History episode. Gotta show love to the skin folk during
Yeah.
Black History, though we represent 365 and sometimes 366. But yeah, I'm working on that, continuing to work with clients who are part of Visionary Minds, Public Relations, and Media, continuing to working on the podcast, and also it's not formally announced, but I am embarking this summer to start a psychology degree because my
Mm.
mental health advocacy is so dear to me, and I really, really want to just amplify it even more. And I can never learn enough about mental health, new data that's coming out, processes, procedures, everything of that nature. So I'm excited about that. I really am. So this summer, and I'll be announcing more soon about that.
Congratulations. We
Yeah.
do need more therapists in mental health in the Black and Brown community because, as growing up, we were taught what happens in our house
Stays in the house.
and we are dying in the house, right?
Exactly.
So, being able to
Exactly.
have somebody that we can talk to that understands does make a difference. Being in the therapy world has been very rewarding. Um, Being able to understand and relate to those in our community and help them. Yep, that's not normal, or it doesn't have to be normal. Or we can adjust. We can talk about. We can cry. We can relate. We can release. We don't have to take on the world. We could take off the Superman, Superwoman cape and really just live because there's a lot going on. Um,
Exactly. And it's okay to go to therapy. You
yes.
know, it's okay. They even have, phone hotlines to call in if you're, or if someone you trust in your circle that you would just want to get things off your chest. But
Yeah.
therapy is not a white people thing, it's an
Mhm.
everybody thing. And I'm really advocating, especially for our skin folk, because we're the
Mhm.
ones who say, oh, you're distressed, or get over it, or,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
going to be, or just pray it away. And I'm a huge on God. I don't play about God, but I know God will want me to exercise
Mhm.
anything to my ability to make sure
Yes.
my mental health is okay. So,
Yes.
yes, it's okay to go to therapy.
Again, it's okay to go to therapy. Now, Tammy Reese, can you say it again for the people in the back?
It's okay to go to therapy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And through our jobs, most jobs they offer employee assistance program, and it's the most underutilized service where if you do need to talk to somebody, you can give them a call. They give you up to so many sessions, but your insurance also can cover you going to therapy as well.
That's right.
However, if you got to pay out of pocket, I don't knock that either because if we need the help, let's get the help.
Let's get it.
Let's get the help. This is very, very good. Thank you so much. So we know how to connect with you. We can connect with you on Tammy Reese Media on Instagram, but you also just share with us, tell us from the media
It's
on
on
Instagram as
Instagram as
well,
well.
TikTok, X, email them at
YouTube.
salesfrommedia@gmail.com.
That's right.
Yes. So again, friends, y'all go ahead and check out what's coming up because it's going to be really, really amazing. Um, you have this expertise in storytelling and broadcasting, and that's appreciated because that's how you hook people in.
That's
When you
right.
can tell a good story and keep them engaged, I like it. I
Right.
like it. So what would be something else that, not something else, what would be a closing word you would want to share with those that are tuned in, that are listening, to encourage them as they continue on this thing called life related to whatever? I now pull out a soapbox for you, Tammy Reese.
Thank you for the platform and for this amazing interview today. I'll leave a word with, we're in a time where a lot of fear mongering is going on, especially those who are diagnosed with anxiety, social anxiety, generalized anxiety. With the news consumption, people are getting really scared to fly. They're worried about their finances, what's going to happen next. They're worried about the government and what's going to happen, what's happening behind the scenes. All I would say is get in alignment, be in alignment, help people in your community. Don't be scared to ask for help. We have to help each other, our skin folk, more than ever. They don't want us to speak out. They don't want us to speak up. They want our history gone. We cannot be in competition with each other. We have to truly uplift each other more than ever. And I just cannot say it enough. Peace, love, and empathy, everyone.
I love it. Thank you so much, Tammy Reese. I appreciate you joining us today. This has been an amazing conversation. Friends, be sure to share, like, drop a comment of word of encouragement to Tammy Reese as she continues to plow the ground of sharing other stories, the everyday person story, the celebrity story, anybody's story that wants to share their story. So this has really been amazing. Again, be sure to follow her at Tammy Reese Media on Instagram. Tales from Media is going to be pretty good. It's coming soon. Another mental health advocate coming soon. And we are greatly, greatly, greatly appreciative of you doing the work to become a mental health advocate for us because we need it. So thank you for that.
You are an
Friends,
amazing interviewer. Thank you so much
oh,
for this impactful day. Thank you so
yes.
much.
Thank you. So, friends, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube so that you always know when we're going live, sharing about what's going on in the community. Until next time, we say thank you and have an amazing, amazing day.
Bye bye.